back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be talking all about my newest and very, 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 very book of the year for me. This is the book of the year for me because I have not published anything this year, and neither did I think anything is going to be published this year. We're going to go into that later, but I just want to welcome you to this event, and I encourage you to stay true to the end, because when you watch this video to the end, another person is going to get to watch it, and that way the gospel, is going to spread. So I want to encourage you to please and please, as long as you've clicked this video, just watch to the end. If not to put that for somewhere while you are cooking or you are washing or whatever it is you're doing, just do that. It is not fair to click on a video and then go and just like and comment when you've not watched to the end, because you're, sending wrong signal and all of that. So please and please watch this video to the end and like, comment your thoughts and all of that. So today we are going to be talking about few things that I learned from the journey of creating this book. And I pray and I know that this is going to bless someone, whether you're someone that God has, called to writing, or maybe you're just someone that is trying to live out your purpose, trying to fulfill your purpose, and working with God. This is going to, help you. This is going to bless you a lot. And I'm also documenting this for myself, that I can, look back at this, because I'm very sure that I'm going to be taking on more projects in the future, and I'll be able to look back at this and see the things that I've learned and the journey that I've gone through. So because I've discovered that, you don't just stop at one book. You need these lessons over and over again to repeat, to, like, you need to remind yourself some of these things over and over again. So I urge you to stay true to the end. Let's dive in. Let me just give you a bit of a backstory here. God gave me the instruction of writing this book earlier this year. I cannot remember the exact date because I wrote the instructions, I wrote the specification and the whole thing of the book down that day, but I did not write the date of that day, so I don't know the date. But I know it was earlier this year, and I can, ascertain that it was after my sister's wedding, which was in April. So let's just say around April, May. Yeah, that was when God gave me the instruction to write this book. And I was like, okay, let's do it. It's easy. We've been posting affirmation all this while, so how hard can it be? But when I began to, like, think about the possibility and the actuality of the whole thing, like, okay, so what is it going to actually cost? How would people receive this? Because I now began to, like, think about even the affirmations that I've been posting self. Nobody, okay, some people have been engaging, but it hasn't really gained a lot of traction like that. And now we want to write the book. Who is going to buy it? Who is going to care about it? Who is going to do this one? Who is going to do that? So that was began to set in, and I just put that project inside the drawer, like just throw it in, and I was trying to, like, do a lot of different things. There was this particular idea, there was this particular thing that I felt like, God, this is, I feel like this is my calling. Hear this out. Hear me out. I feel like, I need to do this for God. I saw something in the environment where I was serving, and I was like, there's a need for somebody to arise. There's a need for somebody to do something in this place. There's a need for, someone to arise and do something in this place. And I felt like, okay, I am a light, so I should light up this darkness. And I can imagine the Holy Spirit looking at me like this. The one that they will give you to do, you do not do it. You want to go and light up the darkness. Okay, no problem. So I was praying about this particular, shall I say it, an idea, or this particular desire, this particular thing that I want to do for God. I was praying about it, crying. I was like, oh, if I had just started earlier, if I had, know this since when I got here, because I was now nearing the end of my service now. I was like, so if I had known this earlier, I would have been able to do a lot of things. I started talking to a couple of my friends, like, I should have done this thing, I should have done that. And I remember somebody was even telling me, like, Shebi, we spoke about something like that earlier this year, and you're like, God did not give you an instruction in that line. So what now happened now? And I was like, I just, it's just making sense now. And the person was like, well, time has gone, you have not, you've not materialized at that day said. You do not do what you're supposed to do at the time you're supposed to do it. But anyways, God can still, do something with the remaining time. All through this time, the Spirit was the that was like this. So at the end of the day, I don't know what hit me, or maybe it was during one of my prayer sections. I shall know that I was hit back to reality. Like, babe, this is not your calling. Yes, it is there's a need in that place, but there is somebody that is called to fill that need. And just because the person that's supposed to take that place did not take it, just because the person that's supposed to take that mountain did not mount it, does not mean you should leave your own and come and fulfill another person's assignment. Because at the end of the day, even if you win this battle, it will still not be count. It will still not count for you. It's like the Bible talks about Assyrians and Philistines and Israel. Imagine David as an Israelite now went to go and be chasing the Philistines when the which other one? The Assyrians are their real enemy. The Philistines, they are going to attack another place and he went to go and fight those ones. The Assyrians are still going to attack Israel and they are still going to destroy Israel and it's still going to be on David's head because you were supposed to fight the Assyrians. You went to go and be fighting the Philistines. So that is not even in my notes. But the first thing I want to point out to us is that when God calls you to a particular, ministry or a particular place or gives you an assignment, no matter how small it may be in your own eyes, it is very important to God. It is very important to God for you to fulfill that particular assignment that He has given you. It is very important for you to stay in your post. There is this song that we used to sing very well until Philo Sunday. Help me never to betray you, Lord. Always keep me at my post. Oh Jesus, I'm your sacrifice. Take me and pour me out. Help me not to betray you. Always keep me at my post. It is important that each of us are at our home post. If the few of us that are rising to the call, if the few of us that are answering the call of God for our life are not leaving our duty post and chasing other people's posts, imagine the disaster, especially with the analogy of the Assyrians and the Philistines that I gave. Imagine the disaster. So it took that really this thing that I'm telling you, it really wasted a lot of my time because I was just now nearing the ending of this project. I was not thinking back like if only I had channeled the energy that I was channeling into that desire that I have, into that need that I saw. If only I had channeled it to the assignment that God has given me, I would have seen the need for it as well. I will have seen, the reason why God actually gave me this assignment. Because when God gives you an idea or an instruction, it is not just because, it's not random. It's a part of His strategy. It's part of His is part of a great mission. So when God gives you that particular instruction, it's not for you to look at it like, I can choose to do it, I can choose not to do it. No. Pastor Stephanie was saying something in one of our preaching, and she was like, she had a dream, she had a vision where God showed her a particular, like a conference section in heaven, and they were having discussions. They were they were having discussions about a particular thing that is going to come on the earth at a particular time. And for that thing, they already, assign somebody like they're going to tell this person, they're going to send this person to do something that is going to counter that thing that is going to come out in, I don't remember the amount of years, but I don't even remember the analogy very well. But the point was that when the enemy is planning that, okay, they want to release something or even before they start saying let them roll out a particular structure, before they start thinking of rolling out a particular system, God and His angels are already working out the person that can stand in the gap, that can stay and create something that will counter, kind of like a counter attack, because we are not living from a place of reacting or trying to savage what the enemy has destroyed. Before the enemy even launch an attack, God's army are already in position, and that is how it ought to be. But when we now come from a place of God gives us an assignment and we are still thinking about it, doesn't really seem like it's going to work like I did. It doesn't seem so possible. Like, who is going to buy the book? Who is going to do this one? Who is going to do that one? What I've learned from this thing, from this assignment, is that it is not about whether somebody buy the book or whether somebody will not buy the book. They gave you instruction. Maybe you shall fulfill the instruction first and come and meet the person that gave you instruction that I have finished the instruction that you gave me. When you finish the assignment that is given unto you, obedience complete. Whether people buy it or they don't buy it, it is none of your business. God that gave you the instruction has the reason why He has given it unto you. Now, I wrote a novel in 2020. The novel is still yet to be published, and I'm very certain that when that novel is going to come out, it's going to it's going to meet a need. It's going to come out at the right time. So what I'm trying to say is that you sometimes, okay, I think I was asking God at a point like, so why did we write this novel because it seems so urgent when you gave me the instruction to write this novel, and now, why did you tell me to write this novel when I did not have any idea of publishing? I did not have an audience. Nobody knows I could write. Even I myself did not know that I could write. I was just like inquiring, like, why did we now write this thing? Why is it done? Why did you give me the instruction to write? Because I thought the only reason why you would give me an instruction to write a novel, it is for it to be published, and I was already ready to be called authoress. Authoress. I had a close to success syndrome, in fact, that a particular publishing company wrote back and they were like, we'd love to publish your book. And I was like, okay, cool. I was so excited. I went to tell my brother, look, they were going to publish my book. And then they sent me their terms and conditions. And I was like, okay. I was crying profusely, like, God, no. So eventually when I was asking, okay, so why did you write this novel? Why did you ask me to do this if it wasn't going to be published at that time? And he was like, it's so that you can see what you can actually do. And I'm like, well, it makes sense. It makes sense. You see, there are many reasons, there are many things that you don't know that you can actually do. So when it is done, you see it and you're like, oh, I've created a daily affirmation book that is not just a regular kind of book. It is, it's a different kind of book. Or you like, I wrote a novel. A novel is at least 50,000 words, I think. I think about 40 to 50,000 is the list for a novel. I wrote 50,000 words? Like, how? How did that even happen? So now I'm learning about a lot of things. So this is not even what I intend to share with you, but I'm just giving you the backstory. I'm just bringing you to the backstory. So God gave me the instruction to write a book. I doubted it, throw the project into the drawer, and that was it. I was just going through the motion. I picked up another desire that I wanted to work on, and God was like, nope, that is not your point, Abby. That is not your assignment. Go back and do the one that I told you to do. And still, I was still struggling a lot with doubt and fear and all of that. But eventually, I was like, okay, maybe I should just do this because okay, maybe I should just do this. I had already given up. Like, even if I wanted to do this, I told God, like, even if I wanted to do this, there's no way I can, achieve it. It's not possible. It's not looking possible. I've already researched and researched and researched, and I don't have the money. I don't have the support. I don't have the audience. No, like what? Like, I just gave up totally, and I was like, there's no way I can do this. Maybe next year, or maybe we can just look for something else to do with the book because, or maybe we're just going to like take it out of Nigerian market and just put it abroad. And I was praying and God was telling me like, nope, that's not the plan, babe. That is not the freaking plan. Okay, it wasn't like that. That is not the plan. That is not the plan. I was like, okay, I understand. Now, this that I'm talking, I think is about last month or thereabouts. You see, from April, May to November, between April to November, I think the only thing I did was like to sit down, to like compile the different affirmations for the past month and put it in a single document and then left it there. I did not even bother to edit it or anything. I was just like, it's okay, Joe. And that was it. I think that was the only thing I did. And I was trying to like, put the idea for the cover on a page. That was the only thing I did. And then it was just there. I was trying to like research and see how, the publishing aspect of things. And then it wasn't looking like it's going to like come out. So I just gave up. I just gave up on the whole process and decided to go with I have failed. I have failed, and I was praying and God told me like, no, it can work out. It is possible. You can do this, and I was like, okay, if you say so, who am I to say otherwise? Yes, I thought that I should have launched the pre-order in October 1st, and I think I even announced it then that I was going to launch the pre-order in October 1st, and I couldn't launch it, and now it is November, few weeks into the end of the year, and you're like, it's possible. And who am I to say no? Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I was excited, in fact, because I'm now coming from a place of repentance. I've allowed doubt into my heart. I've allowed fear. I've allowed all of those things. So now, if it's still possible, like God, if I can, or if there's any way we can still do this, I'm willing and I'm ready. And I was like, yeah, we can do it. And I was like, okay, no problem. Let's do it. You know. So and that was it, guys. That was how we were able to like that was how I was like, okay, get my ass in the house. I'll be at get everything I can to like, okay, settle down. Let me make this. Let me put in my efforts, whatever, whatever. That was when I was just like sitting down, checking the affirmations, checking the different stuff. And that was when I started checking through the affirmations I thought I had that was up to 300 and something. I was only 200 and something. Ha! Abasimi book. Abasimi book. Hmm. 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 I cannot tell you how disappointed I was. I was like, God, how is this possible now? How is this possible now? But eventually, well, let's go into the notes that I have, Jerry. So the first thing I learned from this book project is that start early. Start early. You never know what's going to meet you on the way. So start early. Start early. When God gives us an instruction, there is a need for us to promptly obey. You might need to like go in prayer to like get more understanding, get more revelation. But as soon as you have the revelation needed, as soon as you have the understanding, start. Because you never know what is going to meet you in the way. I was talking about how that I went through the document that I thought I had, which was like close to 120 no 324 affirmations. So I was like, maybe I'll just add a few more and that would be all. And then I discovered that it wasn't even up to 300. It was like 200 and I think 210 or something like that. So now I had to start, writing new affirmations, that kind of thing. Now I have to write like 100 and something affirmation in a few days. And it was already at the rush hour. Like the analogy of the story of the girl that Pastor Stephanie shared in one of our preachings, that she was like telling us how that they give this girl that if she can, like the door of the prison is going to be opened by I think 11:55. I mean, yes, I think 11:50 something, 11:55. Okay, they said she can get out by 11. That the door is going to be opened by 11 or thereabout. So and then she was like, okay, at 10:45, she was like, I still have 5 minutes. Let me just relax. Like some of us do. Like when you wake up, 5 minutes to your alarm, you'll be like, oh, I still have 5 minutes. Let me go back to sleep. And then you go back to sleep. 5 hours later, you wake up. That kind of thing. So she was like, okay, I still have time. When it was exactly 11, she now got up and tried to get out. The door was shut. Is it no? The door was not shut. Rather, then there was somebody at the door that was trying to stop her from getting out. It was already designed, it was already assigned that that person will oppose that for 5 minutes, I think, or 3 minutes thereabout. So the person is going to strive with that for 5 minutes or 3 minutes. Oh God, I cannot give this affirmation. I cannot give this analogy like she gave it. The story is a little bit shaky in my mind. But the story was not coming to me like so. The person at the door was supposed to like strive with her for 3 minutes. And if she had left 3 minutes to the time that she was supposed to get out of that door, she would have still been able to like, struggle with that person and get out just in time for her to get out of that, prison. So now I'm facing, challenges that I did not know exist. If I had started earlier on in the journey, I would have been able to like see these things. Even the person I sent the affirmation to help me go through them to make sure that there is no error and all of that. She was like, I wish you had sent this thing like 2 weeks or maybe even months earlier so that I would be able to like, cool-headedly go through it and make sure that there's no error. And God bless her, she was still able to like, make do with the little time that I gave her or that we had. But the point is like, if I had started earlier, there are a lot of things that came up, even the design that I thought I had, the interior design that I thought I had, I later had to change it. They cover everything, like the cover, the interior, the content, everything still had to be worked on. And in my mind, while I was doing all my research on how to publish and all of that, I felt like I'd already done everything I needed to do. I already had the idea of how the design is going to look. I already had the idea of how the back cover is going to look. And I thought that I had enough information for a whole year, not knowing that I was kidding myself. So it is good for us to start early because you never know what is in, or what you're going to meet. You never know what is going to be in for you. So when you start earlier, you're able to like face the opposition, you're able to like get help, you're able to like, pray through some things, in fact. So that is the first thing that I want to share. And I wrote this thing down so that I would not leave anything out. Number one is start early. Start early. Number two, remove doubt from your heart. When God speaks to you, it is already settled in heaven. Doubt slows you down and confuses you. Doubt, it slows you down and confuses you. Sometimes we are seeking clarity, we are trying to know some certain things that was once clear to us, something that came as revelation, something that came as an instruction, and then you're now doubting them, you're now finding clarity, you want to know, you want to know, you want to know. Meanwhile, it is doubt that has begun to like trouble our mind. I will tell you, in all sincerity, even till I think yesterday, and I say yesterday or day before yesterday, till a few days ago, I was still doubting if this is actually possible. But I had to slap myself back to reality, like, babe, we can't do this right now. That already robbed us of so many things. If not that I doubted the instructions, if not that I doubted my abilities to actually carry out the instruction, I would have started, way earlier, and this thing will have, even been out of the way by now. Because I feel like there are things that I should be doing right now, but I'm not able to do because I'm still struggling to like make sure that this thing is ready. So take doubts out of our mind. I think this would actually help me in the future, and also whoever is watching this video, that when God gives us an instruction, it is already settled in heaven. All that is needed is our alignment to like bring it to pass or that. Like I said, I doubted my ability to bring this thing to pass. But God called you to do this thing. It's because He saw something in you. So if God is seeing something in you that you're not seeing, maybe you should go back to Him in prayer to reveal those things to you that He sees. And sometimes, it is true, like I was saying, you never know what you can actually do until you're in a particular situation that requires a particular aspect of you. You never know. You never know, certain things about yourself until you're in a particular situation that demands a new version of you, a new, a renewed version of you that you may not even know exists. So just, just trust God. Just trust God. He has called you. That means Him by your side, with you, Abby, Him with you can actually achieve this. Yes, you might not be able to achieve it in your own strength, but when you take it to God in prayer, He's going to give you the inspiration. He's going to give you the idea for you to carry it out. The details of how the thing is going to look, how everything is going to work out. No matter how many times you need to go to God to like pray and ask God, God, how is this thing going to look? God, help me with this thing. God, help me with this thing. Go. He's always ready to hear us. He's always ready to listen to our prayers. It's better to take it to God in prayer than to, dwell in the realm of the soul and dwell in your thought realm and begin to like overthink and all of that and doubt everything. So this is a reminder. This is a reminder to us that God got you, and you're going to figure this out. So I was going to say something. Okay. Still on the matter of doubt here. I think the design. I told you like I had to change the design of the book. As at last month, I was staring at a blank canvas. Like I know how this thing's supposed to be. Like I have the idea in my head, but how am I going to like put it together? And like how are we going to make this thing look pretty? And I was struggling. I had to like drop the book. I be like drop the I had to close Canva a couple of times, go back and stare at it again, and then drop it again. Then I remember a particular video that Vicky James made, and she was like, she did a particular design for somebody, a cloth, Vicky James, right? A clothing brand that she and her team they were able to do the design, I think in 1 week or thereabout. And she was like, she didn't quite know the how the design is going to look until a few days or a few weeks to that day, and she had to like pray about it, and God gave her the idea. So I also prayed about it. I made a video a few days ago about praying about even the small stuff. It is from this thing. So I took it to God in prayer, like, God, help me with this design. I don't quite know how to achieve what is in my head, or I don't know how to achieve what is in your heart for this thing. And just like magic word, I went back to that I went back to Canva, and the old design was coming together, and I was like, God, God, that kind of thing. So we're talking about doubt. Take doubt out of your mind. If God believes in you, you should also believe in you too. Okay? And when in doubt, pray. When you feel like it's getting too clinical or certain situations are seeming difficult and it's questioning your ability to like do those things, like I like the experience I just shared, pray about it. God has got you and he's not going to allow anything to go wrong. So like the other video I made about preparing your mind for your stuff, God all the way. I think that's like the first thing I'm supposed to say. God all the way. Don't take God out. Don't come and say, okay, God has given me the idea to do this thing, or God has given me the instruction to do this thing, and then you pack your bag and then go and start looking for a way out on your own. No, God doesn't give us vision for us to figure out. Let me say that again. God doesn't give us vision for us to figure out the details. I think that's somewhere here. Yes. Number 3, don't do it on your own. God did not speak a vision to you. God did not give you a vision. Okay, let me read it out. Let me read it out how it says in my book. Don't do it on your own. God did not speak a vision to have you figure out the details. He's very much interested in the details. Look at Moses with the tabernacle. Look at Noah with the ark. Noah would have been destroyed if he built the ark by his wisdom because he didn't know the magnitude of the storm coming. You get? Don't try to do it on your own. God did not give you the assignment so that you can go and figure out the details or tell you that, it's going to take you to a particular place for you to go and figure out the way. Excuse me. God did not God did not give you, a promise for you to figure out the way. He is going to show you the way. He's going to give you the specific instruction that will take you step by step into that. That was one mistake I made to like try to like figure it out in the thought realm. I was trying to see how it's going to be possible, humanly speaking. That was a big mistake on my part, trying to figure out how this thing is going to be achieved, humanly speaking. There is no way it could have been achieved, humanly speaking, but with God, all things, excuse me, with God, all things are possible. The two instances that I gave, I'm just going to dwell on it a little bit. You do remember when God was giving instructions? Like I was reading that part and I was like, God is so, so, so interested in the details. Like, the cedar wood, the clinical. Maybe you should go and read the Exodus. You'll find it. Where God was giving the instruction for how the temple is going to look. Everything. Like where there's a particular place that you use gold, there's a particular place that you use bronze, or there's a particular place that you use silver, there's purple lining, blah, 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 blah. Like there is a particular design for each part of the temple. That tells us something about God that we forget to apply when it comes to our life. God is interested in even the little details. So we feel like I felt like the designer should be able to do it on my own. But no, when it gets hard, pray. Even when it's not hard, still pray. Like, take God along. Don't leave God out of it. Don't pack your bag and say God has said everything is going to work out and try to figure it out on your own this thing. If God told Noah, build an ark, and Noah was like, okay, God, I am a carpenter, I can do this, and then he goes ahead and tries to build the ark. Imagine the disaster. He wouldn't have been able to house the magnitude of animals that God was planning to bring on that ark. And would it have been able to stay on water for 40 days? You know, this is actually something that I have realized, and I believe that it's going to instruct even my journey as we go into this new year. And I pray that also the person listening to this or whosoever needs this particular word will find this video, because this would help us a lot. There's a large population of us that still feel like we should only pray when it is cancer, but when it is headache, we should go and use paracetamol. Only fast when it is something serious, when it is everyday problem, because there are some problems that we have now designed or assigned as everyday problem. You know, but this is not my speech for today. Let me just go into the best into the next thing. Oh God, help me, Lord. Jesus, help me, Jesus. Okay, so okay, so this particular one, I've had to learn this thing again. This this particular lesson, I learned it in the last book launch that I did, but I'm learning it again. But did I learn it in the last book launch? No, not quite, not quite, not quite. And this is it. Don't be silent. Share what God has given you or told you to do with people who can pray with you and speak faith into you and follow up. Let me take that again. Don't be silent. Share what God gave you or told you to do with people who can pray with you, speak faith into you, and follow up. I spoke to an amazing friend that really encouraged me. Like I did not expect that level of support from him. Like when you're doubting if something is possible, and then you speak to somebody, I was like, wow, like yeah, let's do that already. Like it really encouraged me and really pushed me to like say that okay, God has said it's possible, and this other person also says it's possible. So let's do it. So there was when I was talking to this person, there was a lot of fear in my heart. There was a lot of doubt because I had already gone to go and do another research, and I was still not seeing how things are going to like work out. But when I spoke to him, he was like, "Don't worry." He did not know how it's going to be done, but it was like, "Don't worry, everything is going to work out." And it really encouraged me a lot. And while I was, going through this, while I was meditating and going through everything, that I remember that, and I was like, I also remember the particular movie I watched. I don't know if any of you have watched Forge. That movie, that movie actually made me to like see the importance of having a praying circle. When that woman ran into a problem, she called up as twin sister. Our twin sister called up their mom, and they brought a full circle to pray concerning this particular issue. And many of us, when we are going through things, we only just take it to God on our own, which is very good. You should pray and try to like hear God on certain things. But there are some times that you need people to like speak faith over you, because there's a lot of thoughts, there's a lot of things that are going through our mind sometimes that we need people to like encourage us. There are people that can look at it like, okay, this is what you're trying to do. Yeah, it can actually work. Like now giving you suggestion, like why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Okay, let me recommend this. Let me recommend that. They might not have all the answers, but with the way that they believe in you, it will also help you to like believe in yourself. It might even help you to like begin to like think constructively, to like begin to like see, okay, you know. So having people that can pray with you, to like speak faith over you, and also follow up to like ask you, okay, after a few days, how far? What have you been able to do? Okay, give me the details. Let me see how you've gone about this. This is not just for me. It's not just one person or two people. A couple of people that I spoke to during this period of now, working with God on this project, and they were all so encouraging. The one that helped me with the review, the one that was just like, babe, you can do this. I believe in you. All of those things. So I was like, so if I had spoken to these people earlier on in the year when I was busy doubting and picking up assignment that is not my own, would have gone farther than this. So this is also another thing that I've learned is to like speak to people. You don't have to like speak to everyone. But by now you know the quality of friends you have, the quality of people in your circle, and the ones that you call when you want to like plan a party, the one you call when you want to like you need someone to pray with, the one you call when you just want to like chat, the one you call when you want to get vulnerable emotionally, so when it comes to an assignment that God has given you, speak to the friends that can pray with you, that can encourage you. Sometimes they are like, so those ones that are like your corporate friends, because I really needed someone in that space for this. Those ones are like your corporate friends, maybe in your industry, people that maybe you're a pastor, you might need someone that is also a pastor, however it's going to be. But there's a need for us to like have those people that can actually speak over us, because this mind that we're looking at, hey, another word for another day. This minute you are believing, next minute you're doubting. you know, I was imagining a scene when I was in toilet yesterday, like the journey for this book, like 1 minute I'm believing, 1 minute I'm doubting, 1 minute I'm believing, 1 minute I'm doubting. So that really slowed down my journey a lot. If there had been someone all along that was like, you know, I believe in you. I love this idea. We can actually get this done. I'm going to like support you in whatever way I can. We'll have gone further than this. So that's another thing. So body of both. Trying to make sure that my mic is not dead because this thing can be funny. Let me check that this one is not dead. Okay. Okay. This particular point, I've shared it in the back video, or is it backstory that I was giving at the beginning of the video, which is that focus on your assignment. When God gives you, let me take that again. Focus on your assignment. When God gives you a mountain to climb, focus on it. Don't try to do things for God that feels right while neglecting the things He told you to do. Just do what He tells you. Now waiting kill some be that too. Okay. Now waiting kill some be that too. Just do what God tell you. Make your mind your business. Don't try to like overstep your bound. Don't try to like say that look at that side. They're not building that side. Because I always imagine our faith work. Should I say is it faith work or yeah, I always imagine our faith work like every one of us, we are trying to build a city. So they gave each person a portion, like okay, build from here to here, maybe from Lagos to Abuja. That's a very big portion. But which familiar plane is there that you can use? Maybe we should use Foye. Let's use Foye. In Foye, there are phase one to phase three. Maybe they say from the school gate to faculty of law, you favor, take that place and build it. From faculty of law to what's the second place? From faculty of law to phase three and phase two. From faculty of law to admin building, you build that place. So like there is a portion for each person to build. So when one person leaves where they are building and go and be building another person's place, you might not actually have the resources needed for that particular place because God gives us instruction based on the resources that He has given us, based on the gifts and talent that He has given us, based on our abilities, based on our upbringing, sometimes based on our disposition. Let's say disposition or our what is the English for this thing? Is it character or ways of seeing life or ways of perceiving the world. It gives us instructions. It gives us our portion based on his own idea of our being. So when we take ourselves from where God has placed us and go to another person's portion and try to build it, you might not have the requirement for that place, and you will struggle while your own clinic that you're supposed to be building is suffering. So at the end of the day, everybody end up losing. Even if you successfully build that side, your own side will still be left empty. At the end of the day, he's going to ask you that, okay, what did you do with your gift? What did you do with your talent? What did you do with the time that I'm giving you? And you'll be scratching head. So focus on your assignment. There is a lot of things to do where God has placed you. There's a lot of things for you to do where God is calling you or where God has called you. I'm talking to people called of God here. There's a lot of things for you to do where God has called you. So focus. There are a lot of things for you to learn. There are a lot of growing for you to do. There are a lot of things for you to discover. And when you leave that place, you're wasting time, like I did. So um, that's like this. That's like the other thing I want to share. And this last point is very important. When you come to yourself, repent and go home. When you come to yourself, repent and go home. This is from the story of the prodigal son. When he came to himself, he told himself that he's going to go to his father and ask for mercy. I shared the story of this entire project with you, how that I received the instruction with joy, allowed doubt to set in, started desiring another person's portion. Yeah, it's like, is that the right went off track. Yes, went off track, went out of alignment, wasted time. all of those things. But when I came to myself, when I realized what I've done, the damage that has been done, I went to God like, God, see, see, is it safe? I'm telling God to see as if you have not been seeing. But then I was like, God, see how I have wasted a lot of time. See how I have allowed myself to be carried away with all of these things and, neglected the assignment that you've given me and cried out for mercy that if there is anything that can still be done, if there is any way that this can still be done, God, because in humanly speaking now it has become more impossible. It has become more impossible because technically when you're like doing a book launch with everything I've learned this year, at least you should be able to do like maybe a whole month or 3 months, or have pre-order, talk about the book, go for different events. There's a lot of things to be done in a book launch. So when you're not like trying to like launch a book that's supposed to like you know become relevant in January, starts being relevant in January 2025, and you're not trying to launch it in December 2024, it is still not, it's not humanly speaking, possible. But I was like, God, if there's anything that can still be done, I'm willing to do it. And it was like, no problem, let's do it. And that was it. So while I was meditating on this, one thing that God told me to share is that when you come to yourself, I don't know for you you know, what God has called you to do that you left. I don't know how far you've gone out of alignment. I don't know the things that you've distracted yourself with. I don't know the lies that they've told you or that you've told yourself, or how deep that you've allowed doubt to hit into the instruction and the revelation that God gave you. But when you do come to yourself, when you realize how far you've fallen, when you realize how long you've gone astray, go home, go home. Don't try to like, okay, well, I have failed, let me just stay a failure. I have fallen, let me just stay falling. No, don't stay falling. Go